So, this is going to be an impromptu review from us at Movie in a Blender. We just saw the newest Arnold movie, The Last Stand.
Last Stand.
What do we think about it, Matt?
Well, I consider myself to be a bit of a connoisseur of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, but I would say that just my general opinion was that it was a lot of fun and definitely worth seeing. I don't regret paying to see it.
No, it was really nice. It's really my callback to the '80s Arnold. We were kind of like rating it. It's not close to Predator or Terminator.
Yeah,
it's probably a little bit around Eraser. So if you're a fan of Eraser, you might like this one.
Yeah.
But it's still nice to see Arnold getting back in the swing of things.
Yeah, there's lots of sort of good action in it. There's lots of one-liners. I would say that this is Arnold's first movie since getting back into, Hollywood and stuff. Second.
Expendables.
Oh, well, yeah, first starring movie.
First starring movie.
Yeah. First starring movie since he's been done being the governor. But I would say that it definitely did not hit as hard as it could have, just kind of on all levels. But I would say that it's sort of a good sign. Yeah. I think there's lots of good Arnold to come, and I think he's still got a lot of badassness to give. So
let's do the summary. What happens in the movie? A Colombian or some other place in South America, Ian, drug lord, escapes prison, and he's going to drive to Mexico. But, since the bad guy has to get away, he doesn't want to take a helicopter.
Yeah.
He doesn't get to the chopper. He gets to the Charger. Super experimental, fast car, drives in the dark, which only happens for like a few minutes.
Yeah.
Whoa, nice and
it has stealth mode.
Yeah, it does have stealth mode.
Like the Batmobile.
And one of the reasons that he's taking the car is because he's a really good driver, but also because apparently it's faster than any other mode of transportation.
Yeah.
One of the guys in the FBI office says, yeah, he would take the Charger because it's faster than a helicopter.
Yeah.
Cut to helicopter following the Charger.
Yeah, very well.
They're keeping up. So apparently it goes 50 feet faster than a helicopter. So it was a good investment.
Yeah.
But his route is gonna take him through a small little town that surely they cannot stop him, except for this town has Arnold as its sheriff.
Yes.
Arnold is a retired narcs agent. They do a good job of like kind of spreading out his backstory.
Yeah. So
he basically he was one of those big cop on the edge kind of cops, but now he's retired and so he's in a small town.
Yeah.
And we have one of my personal favorite characters ever, or actors, I should say.
Yeah.
Peter Stormare.
Yeah.
Because Peter Stormare is both an actor and a character. Because Peter Stormare plays Peter Stormare.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty awesome in this movie, and we were laughing about it because it's like he's very clearly trying to do like a southern accent, like he's kind of like a cowboy type guy, but he's still Peter Stormare. He still has his thick sort of French,
There were a lot of accents in this movie.
Yeah,
It is shocking how many accents there were.
Yeah, you've got the drug lord, you've got Peter Stormare, you've got Arnold, Johnny Knoxville's in it.
Don't think that's an accent.
Well, yeah, but you know.
It's hard to make them out sometimes.
Yeah.
We also have an ex-military veteran, a young military veteran, who is in the town jail cell at the moment because he got drunk and disorderly. So, and he has like some sort of accent as well.
Yeah, when he first started talking, I was like, oh, he's Latino, and then I was like, wait, no, he's a white guy. But when he first started talking, it was like, oh, I thought he had kind of a Latino accent, but I guess not.
So, this was an action movie in the same vein as the '80s type, but it feels like whoever wrote this was like, no plot holes. I'm getting rid of all of them.
Yeah.
So it's a small town. But how do we get rid of everybody? Everybody's going to a football game.
Yeah.
There's only like 5 people left in town.
Yeah, there's a big away game like 5 hours away, and everyone's gone for the weekend. And like they make it very clear that everyone's gone. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, I'm taking the weekend off because there's nobody here basically. So.
And then you have this small like 5 people holding off like mercenary group.
Yeah.
Well, how can they hold off a mercenary group? How can they have the firepower for that?
Well, the only way they'd be able to do it is if if Johnny Knoxville had a gun museum.
He has a gun museum.
Yeah.
With all sorts of
He
World War II.
He has a bunch of weapons from like
Yeah,
World
so
War
he's
II
Gatling guns and,
Yeah.
and like rifles and stuff.
Yeah.
We also have one of the other deputies is Luis Guzman.
Yeah.
And of course he's always funny in whatever he does. But there was a part where when the big siege on town is finally happening, he gets blown up.
Yeah.
And that just pisses him off. So he comes out of the smoking rubble with a Tommy gun.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much like the scene from Scarface.
Just he wastes like a ton of mercenaries.
Yeah. And we should mention that this movie, going back to basics here, there is a rookie cop on the force.
Yes.
Who all he wants to do is just see some action.
He just wants to get out of the small town life and have some excitement.
He wants to be super cop. So his life clock is ticking down.
Yeah. As soon as he said that, I was like, ooh.
It's like, nope, dead.
You're going to be some motivation for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes, he turned out to be.
Yeah.
By the way, these people have very effective shotguns that can hit you at quite a distance.
Yeah. They were pretty good shotguns. Yeah.
So the drug cartel lord guy, the boss prime.
Yeah.
The way he's going to make it across the border is he's going to drive a what is it?
It was a Chevy Corvette, but it was like super souped up. Yeah. It was like a prototype car that they stole from like a car show.
Yeah.
And the thing goes like 200 miles an hour. It's just it's a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, there's this movie has two modes. It's either action movie or racing movie.
Yeah, it's like Fast and the Furious, meets like small town action movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Two things you don't think would mix, but they do a pretty good job.
There are plenty of car stunts. A lot of cars knocking other cars off the road.
Yeah.
And just whizzing through stuff.
Yeah.
So, what didn't we like though?
Yeah. Well, okay. So one thing that you and I were talking about
Mm-hmm.
that I really wish was in the movie is that when the movie starts, the way that we're introduced to Arnold and then the army vet guy is that the army vet guy is already in jail and he's acting like he's like hungover and stuff. So clearly, he was drunk. And the way we're introduced to Arnold is he just kind of drives up and gets out of his car, and everyone's leaving for the football game, and Arnold's just like, just like clapping for them. And I was thinking it would have been really cool if they had a scene where this guy was drunk in a bar and like ranting and raving, and Arnold comes in, he's like, "Come, you've had enough." And he's like, "No, I haven't had enough." He starts getting belligerent, and Arnold just takes him down. Yeah. And the way that it would have set up a cool sort of dynamic between the two of them, where they're kind of like, mad at each other, but also it introduces the fact that Arnold is not just a small-time sheriff; he's a badass. Like the first time we see him being a badass is like 45 minutes into the movie when he shows up to the firefight.
It would have been a more classic callback to the 80s movies where it's the cop in the convenience store and he's just buying some milk and then this small-time guy comes in there and gonna rob the guy, and he has cop puts a candy bar to the back of his head. It's like, you're under arrest.
Yeah.
And, it's just one of those classic things that they missed out on.
It would have been nice to have that scene. Definitely. It felt like it was missing.
And while Boss Crime's driving is impressive, he's
not a very good bad guy.
Not a very good bad guy.
Yeah.
It's funny because Peter Stormare is like second bananas compared to this guy. But Peter's having so much more fun with him.
Oh, man. He's crazy and just... Oh, man. Yeah.
There is a rather attractive woman walking down the street, and he says, "I would shoot for that piece of ass."
Yeah, and then he starts shooting. Cars blow up, and he just goes, "Whoa.
Get me the big gun."
Yeah, get me the big gun. Yeah. He's just so awesome. And he's like... He just has this slick back hair and like
he's got cowboy boots,
sideburns and cowboy boots. He's wearing like a leather jacket. And he's just like he tries to like convince this farmer that they're just shooting a commercial on his land. And oh man, it's awesome.
Best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Second best. I guess everyone has to be the best.
Yeah.
By default.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. They do a good job of like establishing the kind of quirky Twin Peaks-esque citizens of this town. Everybody's small town, everybody knows your name, and everybody has their weird little perks. So, it's got that nice little balance of it's not just mindless action. There's some funny parts.
Yeah, there's some good moments, and I mean Arnold has like some funny moments, just kind of talking to the townspeople.
Mm-hmm.
Like right before like shit's about to hit the fan, he goes into the diner and there's like 4 guys there, and he's just like, "You guys got to get out," and they're just like, "We just ordered our food.
Yeah,
we're not gonna leave." And he's like, "You need to go. There's going to be a shootout," and they're like, "Seriously, we just put omelets on. We're not leaving." And it's just like, all right, guys. He's just like, "Well, just stay away from the windows," and like just runs out.
Basically, they play. What are the 2 guys in the balcony?
Oh, Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah, they play the Statler and Waldorf to the whole. Oh, sure. If you went through the window.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Wow, that explosion was big.
Yeah.
So they're just
they're running commentary on the action scene. Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville is in this.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if he doesn't remind me of his role in Walking Tall.
Yeah.
With The Rock. He's almost playing the exact same character.
Is. I don't know. He was supposed to be sort of like an eccentric gun collector.
He was trying to pull off Bert from Tremors.
Yeah.
But he was just too wacky.
Yeah, and there were too many moments where it was just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, at one point, they're trying to block the road to keep the car from coming through, and he climbs up a telephone pole, and just, it's stupid.
He just, the little whack.
Yeah, Johnny Knoxville's here. Yeah.
I also love their idea of close off this road is put a telephone pole across it.
It's like, I'm pretty sure they can drive through that.
Yeah.
I mean, that...
Secure.
At one point, the bad guy comes in front of a SWAT vehicle and flips around, and the SWAT vehicle Dukes of Hazzards off the hood of the car, and there's just a little bit of a scuff on the front of the car. I mean, this car can take some damage, man.
Until you get in the cornfield.
Yeah.
There is the first thing I've ever seen a car chase a cornfield.
Yeah.
That's a first.
Yeah, and
there you go.
It's sort of cool because they're like, they can't really see each other, so at one point they're just like sitting there like, where's the other guy?
So like right next to each other, but nobody's moving.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, this movie is a Chevy commercial.
It is a Chevy commercial.
The car that the guy drives is a Corvette, and at one point Arnold gets, I think it's a Charger. He gets in a Chevy Charger, and they're just like, I mean, it's just like the shots with like Chevy, you know, it looks like a car commercial at certain points, and I know they paid a lot.
If you ever want to escape justice or inflict justice, Chevy is what you need.
Chevy is what you gotta do. Yep, for sure.
Forrest Whitaker is in it.
Yes, Forrest Whitaker is in it.
He's a secret agent. I'm supposed to be transporting this guy, but he got away guy.
Yeah.
So he's all over. They always cut to him in the office like, pull out this.
Yeah.
Give me names. What's this file? Bring up that map.
Yeah.
Bring the car guy over here. What kind of car is this car guy?
Yeah, he's sitting in the FBI control room with all the screens and stuff. And he's like, come on, people, we can catch it. You know, that sort of role. What cracked me up about him, though, is that, like, he is totally just, we're going after this guy. Every single thing, we're going to cut him off.
Yeah.
The minute that Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, they're building a bridge in my town, he's like, no, they're not.
This is what happens. So he's like, let's call the small town.
Yeah. And
tell them that there's a fugitive and they need to watch out.
Yeah.
And so Arnold's like, oh, fugitive, and watch out, whatever.
Yeah.
And so that Arnold gets shot at, and he's like, your fugitive is going to come through here. And he's like, why would he come through there?
It's like, you just told me.
You just told me to watch out.
Yeah. Yeah. That was pretty funny.
All right, let's send some SWAT guys in. So they can take care of this.
I guess, yeah.
I do have to say, the one thing that really kind of broke the movie for me is watching 60-year-old Arnold get in a fist fight with like a 20-year-old Colombian drug lord.
Yeah, the funny thing is that it's never established that either of them are good at hand-to-hand combat. It's like, okay, Arnold was a narcotics cop. Obviously, he knows a thing or two. He's not a martial artist.
Yeah.
And this drug lord guy is just like, he's just good at driving. Why would he be good at... So the fight is kind of anticlimactic.
It's seriously, it's this. It's the drug lord guy has his feet somewhere on Arnold.
Yeah.
His legs are always like wrapped around his neck or his legs or something, and Arnold's just punching him.
Yeah.
That's the fight.
Yeah.
It's like,
there was kind of a cool moment in the fight where it's like Arnold's grappled, basically, and he's on the ground, and Arnold just goes, and just lifts the guy up off the ground and just slams him down. And we thought that was the end of the fight.
Yeah,
we're like,
that's
okay, that's cool.
The guy's out.
Yeah.
The fight's over.
Yeah,
done.
but then he goes, I have a knife, and he starts.
Let's keep fighting.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, come on.
The fight went on a little bit long, but yeah. And then the other thing that I liked was who's the actress that played the female deputy?
No clue.
She was also in Thor. She was Thor's friend in Asgard.
There you go.
I like her. I feel like she's good in action movies. I think she should be in more stuff. She did good in this movie. So.
When she came from Thor's world, she just stayed in town.
She just stayed in town, exactly. Yeah, she stayed in that town that got attacked by the robot thing.
So to bring it all around, if you're a fan of Arnold stuff, you're gonna like this.
Yes.
If you're a fan of old-fashioned squibs and explosions and just firefights, you're gonna like this. If you're a fan of the one-liners, welcome to Summerton.
Yeah, there's lots of good one-liners for sure.
Stick around.
Yeah.
Let off some steam. If you like those, you're gonna like this.
Yeah. The one thing that they could have done that they didn't do that I was glad is they didn't give Arnold a family in this one.
No, he's by himself.
Is a good thing because then they would have been like, I have your wife and Arnold. They've got my wife. He's just on his own. The only motivation he has is just I gotta save the town, which is nice.
They would have his wife on his birthday, and then they'd be in his house eating his birthday cake. So that's it from us from Movie to Blender.
Yep.
Hopefully you'll like Last Stand. I know we did.
We enjoyed it.
Until next time.
See you later.